Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be continuing our Cities Skylines 2 city build series on Tidehaven. Now in the last episode, we expanded the city just a little bit. Made some changes to the road layouts, added this collector / arterial, some more residential, and we also added some transit. Some bus lines and some taxi stops around the city. So we also, in the last episode, unlocked communications, which we have not placed yet. That means we now have a service requirement for mail and for internet services. So those will have to be placed in today's episode. I will also be making a change to this road area here. I'm not entirely happy with how I set this up. I feel like I can fix it. It looks a bit weird. The way I placed it, I wasn't entirely sure what to do here. So I will be making a change to that. I will fix the road here. Got a couple of small changes I'm going to make around the map, but mostly today's episode will be focusing on building communication and expanding. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so to begin, one of the first things that I want to do, and I was thinking about this after I ended off the last episode, is I want to add some more row houses here. I don't like that this is completely empty, and I feel like there's a lot more we can do here. So one of the things I was thinking of doing is adding some parking along this road here. I know this is supposed to be like an arterial / collector. However, I was thinking, what's it, this one here, of replacing this part of the road with some parking to add parking for the bus services and more for the row houses. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this road, and in order to do that I have to create a node here and just quickly get rid of that as such. Pause this real fast so I don't disrupt traffic. Grab that. And just bring it in like that, and that smooths it out a little bit so it doesn't have such a rough turn, because that was really bothering me for a bit there. And now I can get rid of this node here, and that fixes that. As far as this area here goes, it's kind of done a little bit incorrectly, as you saw in the last episode. With a lot of traffic coming through here, going in and out, this is acting as a collector when it's actually a local road, and it backed up all the way past and went up and around, and that is a problem, and that is something that I need to fix immediately before I start continuing here. Otherwise it's going to become a bigger problem in the future, especially since we have bus lines and stuff running through here. So the way I was thinking of fixing that is, this is technically like a mix between a collector / arterial, similar to this here. And so I need to treat it as such. Having two stoplights here that close together with only local roads going into a high density zone is not the best idea in my opinion. So I'm going to make that change. And I did think about how I was going to do that. It's going to involve tearing up some of this stuff here, and it's going to involve getting rid of this low density, because this doesn't look right. I mean, this is not a good design. Having these local low density right next to this, it feels kind of sloppy to me. So we are going to fix that, which is why I'm keeping the game paused. We are going to keep this road here as it is. I'm just going to simply fix how this goes. So, more and more as I've been changing up the city a little bit, one of the main things that's been bothering me is this roundabout. When I originally built this roundabout, I wanted it to be more decorative, and I had also planned on having 4 different exits going around the city. And as I've gone, it kind of feels forced. The roundabout no longer serves the purpose that I originally built it for, because that purpose no longer exists. It is no longer the main connector, and it feels like it's blocking a lot of potential building room. So what I might do, what I really want to do now, is remove this roundabout, replace it with highway, and have the highway connect. And that way, along this highway, you can build off-ramps connecting to the different parts of the city. It is one thing that it is possible to do because a highway can also transition into an arterial very easily, and it gets rid of this roundabout that we no longer need. Alright, so thinking some more, I do have an idea that could really help out the city a ton, and I'm going to test out that theory now. Oh, right. So this is our first highway on/off ramp that I have built. This was my idea. Instead of having the arterial running directly through the middle of the city, I would have a highway in its place with on and off ramps, which would allow me to connect the grid underneath the highway overpass. Ignore the supports. That is just because that's where the node was placed. I cannot do anything about that as far as I know without messing up these perfect curves that I built. So I'm just going to pretend that that's not there, even though I know that's going to bother me for a long time. So this was my idea. We have our on and off ramp, and that's going to happen for the entire city. So now we have this, which acts as an arterial, running completely through the city. And in order to do that, I could honestly, if it doesn't mess it up too much, I could make this into a 6-lane. As such. And then have the arterial switch to a, honestly, it's not even, oh, that's anarchy. Yeah, yeah. So if I do that, it's going to get rid of our businesses, which I have to be careful of. I do think that this is enough, though. There shouldn't be too much traffic going into this area. But if there is, we can always upgrade that later. But this was my idea. I think it looks pretty good. Oop, I missed a spot. Once again, this is why we use anarchy. There we go. I like that. It looks good. That is jank. Whoa. Okay, I don't like that. Not good, no. I'm gonna have to yeah, I think I broke the roads just a little bit, guys, with Anarchy. It's probably because of the way it's placed. I wonder if I can fix that through a slight, like, yeah, say, adjustment. Barely noticeable. But that seems to have fixed it. So we have I guess it's what's called a supernode? I'm not entirely sure. It's a lot of traffic lights. I would honestly prefer to place a traffic circle here, however, I don't... Yeah, no. No. That's not fitting. That's already pushing it. You know what? I know it's gonna unstraighten a little bit. But I think we're gonna have to move these back just slightly. Like that. See? And then the same with these. There we go. And honestly, move that off the road. So I don't really know how I'm gonna fix this here. I could, at the expense of my circle, do it like that. But then it starts to look weird. See? So I'm just gonna leave that. Alright, so there's our interchange, or our on-off. And this arterial is going to run all the way through. All the way through. And this highway is going to lead over to my second highway over here. And this highway is going to run all along the center of the island. I think that looks much better. That means I can get rid of these. I could bring this over like this. Instead of it being here, I could bring the arterial here and connect it to this collector. And then upgrade this. And now we have an arterial, well, partial arterial running through the city here, which will connect to our collector here. This area is low traffic, and so is this, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm hoping that this bit of 4-lane can support the traffic that we require. There is also a small possibility that I can upgrade this at least. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so we have that set up now. Let's expand our residential. Alright, so in order to respect the topography and start kind of laying out a better grid in this area here. This is pretty steep here. It's not that bad. It looks worse on the topography lines, but it really isn't that much of a difference. So in this case, I would take a local road. I'll probably just do a continuous curve. And just intersect it here. Bring it down like this. I want to keep it straight. Now this follows the terrain, kind of. I mean, the best that it can. It's not that deep, so building is not a bad thing here. So that intersects, and then we have this grid here that I can honestly stretch through. Now I have this here that I was doing because I had the game running, but we don't need to keep that anymore. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this highway here, just quickly, just to get it out of the way. 2-lane road, or 2-lane highway. Here. Continuous. All right, now we have our grid. I have upgraded it a little bit, expanded it, tried to make it look as natural as possible. I left some room for a park in this area, not sure what to do here. Definitely room for some more farmland here, because that is fertile land. We have our interchange, our arterial, and our collector, as I plan to run that all the way around. It's not that steep throughout the hills, but I do try to respect the topography as much as possible. So the first thing we got to do is prepare our services. Now as you can see, our fire and police. Fire department is here, our police department is not far away as well, right there. That'll cover this area, but I think we're going to need some more over here. If I check our school availability, we have plenty of elementary school availability, but we do not have a lot of high school availability. Looks like the high school is full, 400 out of 400, and I don't think I can expand it because I did not leave space for that. I could put it here and demolish some of that. Yeah, I could. I may have to. That would save us money. Or I could just plan ahead and place some more. We do have the money for it. So the first thing we're going to do is place a nice elementary school over here. Now, I did leave some space over here because I figured we could place it somewhere in this central area. Or we can place it down here. There's plenty of space for it. Like if I placed it here, it would be okay, but it's on the hill. I don't think that would look good. We could put it here. But that is a collector and we don't want it on the collector. So my thought is I'm going to place it here. I just can't go here. Yeah, I'm going to place it right here on this local road here. So we have more elementary school now. Oh, and there's a lot of upgrades. There's enough room for that here. Additional classrooms, that's an upgrade. And that's an upgrade. Okay, so there's plenty of room to upgrade that. Now we need a high school. That is a very big high school. We don't need something nearly that big. Ooh, look at the size. This one has capacity for 2,500, 1,200. This is cheaper and holds more. It's just a question of what are the upgrades. If I place it here, that's going to be a lot of our money gone, but at least we'll have that. Because I do believe this has upgrades. It does. Oh. There's so much space there. Okay, so that doesn't require a lot. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we need a college. Let's try here. So the good thing about these upgrades is we can build across the street, like right here. So it's important to keep that in mind. Alright, now we need our emergency services. So we will place down a fire station. I want it to be able to surface this whole area here, so that means it needs to be near the collector. One of these two. I think the most optimal position would be somewhere right here. Or we take the city firehouse. See, it's just a little bit more expensive, but it'll definitely fit. 6 fire engines, yes, because it's going to be more medium density. This is a college campus here, so I don't want it right there, because I'm going to expand this and make it look better. So I think instead I will place it here. The next thing I'm going to do is create a park. I'm going to put a park cafe here because my whole plan... Oh, it needs road access. Okay, then we'll put it here. Like that, and then we will attach a nice pathway. Nice. So we got ourselves a park there. I will expand that in a later episode when I go through in detail. Alright, and last thing, we need residential. So I will go ahead and place a bunch of that real fast. Alright, so I have finished zoning, at least the beginning of zoning. We have our low density residential here and here, as well as some medium residential here, medium density. We have mixed zoning, so those with shops and residential. We also have low rent, medium density along the highway. I feel like that makes sense. And I'm kind of just waiting for everyone to move in, but I have noticed something. Just like in the last episode where I messed it up before, I've done it again. Everyone is bottlenecked here, trying to get off. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to create a slip lane. Even if this is just temporary. Alright, so I have a slip lane here that should help out a little bit. And I'm also going to do... So we have that, Okay, the slip lane should be enough. The only thing left to do is a little bit of lane changes. So I'm just going to make some changes here. So that can only go that way, and then this one. Line connector. You can't go straight, and you can't go straight, and you can only go left. And then this one. You cannot go straight. You are right turn only. Same thing goes with this one. You are not going straight, you're going right. Alright, let's see how that helps us. We'll speed it up a little bit. It should release some of the traffic. Oh, I also should probably do some changes to my bus. I realize that I have my bus lane. I messed up the bus lane. Whoops. Bus line. And we have reached milestone 6. Boomtown. What have we unlocked? Heavy traffic ban, and we have a loan limit increase. Heavy traffic ban is going to be good because then I can ban trucks from going through residential neighborhoods. Some nice office space here. Yeah, see, that slip lane is definitely helping. This I haven't fixed yet. That is a bit of a problem. I know exactly where to move these. So let's move them real fast. There we go. Move those over there. Everyone here is going to have to walk back over there now. Now there's one thing we should do on this arterial. We should not allow parking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block that. There we go. That helps out. So see, the slip lane did help a lot. And a slip lane on this side might be handy eventually as well, when I connect this over here. Now, a quick note, because I have cut this off, all of my traffic is going to be going through my neighborhood, which is going to really upset some people. So, as a temporary measure until a later episode when I actually fix this, I am going to take this constant curve. Okay, enough with that, thank you. There we go. So we can do that. And then what I'll do is I'll create a district here. Alright, let's pause this. Districts. So this is our transportation overview. We have that. Districts, let's draw that. Get rid of the transportation. District creation tool. create a heavy traffic ban here. There we go, and now we have that. So we have this area, and that is going to be a heavy traffic ban. Because I don't want big trucks going through here constantly. They should be using this road. Cool. Now, I do believe we have unlocked policies. Heavy traffic. No. Let's do a heavy traffic ban. There we go. So I was thinking we'll do something that looks like dorms on this side. Let's see how that looks. I am curious. And the demand is already gone. Yeah, it looks like the trucks are now taking this way here. So this, again, is just a bypass until I create a highway exit here to connect to this. Because I will have to. I'm going to have to create an exit that connects to this arterial. There's definitely going to be a lot of green space here that we're going to have to fill in. But for now, this is all we have. Alright, and moving on to the main objective of this episode, communications. So, we definitely are going to need a post office. So, I think with the size of our city currently, this Netherlands post office would be a great fit. And I think fitting it into our more higher density area over here would make it look better. Somewhere close to this collector. So I am thinking we place it right here. So now we have a post office. And in order to have that function, we need mailboxes. And those mailboxes need to be scattered around the city so that they service multiple areas. So I am going to turn on post availability. And I'm going to start placing post office boxes in different areas. Alright, so that is our mail. And the last thing we are going to need is internet. So let's go to telecom. Now we do have these small radio masts. And which one of these is it? I think it's this one. This doesn't have a lot of coverage unless I put it up higher. But we have the option to place a telecom tower. And in order to unlock that, I need to go to here, I need to go to communications, and I need to unlock the telecom tower. When I go back and select that, look how much coverage this has. It needs a road. I don't want it here in the middle. I'm thinking if I put it up here or over here, it'll cover everything. So let's place it here. Like that. And now everyone has internet. Alright, I am going to end up this episode here, guys. We accomplished a lot in today's episode. A major expansion of the city has taken place. We now have mail and internet services set up. We have more education available, as well as a higher education now because of the college, which we did not have before. Our city is growing very quickly now, and expansion is going to happen very quickly as a result of that. There are some more things that we have to work on in future episodes, more optimizations on the road networks. I need to create a second on-off ramp from the highway onto our second arterial here. And then I need to connect our main highway onto the second highway that's going to get built. And I need to set up some transit in this inner city area here, because as it stands currently, we do not have that. You can see that our bus routes are only covering this top half of the city now, and we need to set up some downtown bus routes here, connecting our college and other residential areas with the rest of the city. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.